Wired pair.
Wired pair of fives. 2 fives are known as the speed limit, and they're known as presto in the poker world.
Kasim folds. Flop comes king, jack, deuce.
No help. Gus Hansen, a bet on anything kind of guy.
Now look at this. He has nothing here. Hennigan has the best hand. But it looks like Gus is thinking about betting this pot.
You can't be betting this pot unless it's a stone-cold bluff.
He's thinking about betting this pot, and he is betting it.
I love this guy.
Gus leads out for $90,000 bet. He wins the pot.
Gus Hansen bet $90,000. He wins the pot.
That's
wow.
just a great bet with nothing.
I'm telling you, he's earning his pots. You got to take your hat off and salute this guy. Very well done. Had he checked, Hennigan would have bet he would have lost the pot.
That's right.
Shows you most of the time, the first guy in the pot wins the pot. Okay. The action's on John Hennigan. He looks at a 7-4 offsuit. He folds.
Now here comes the very courageous Gus Hansen. Looks at his cards. He's got a 9-queen, different suits.
Gus says raise.
And he's raising it again.
Oh, why not? You know, you're Gus Hansen. You can do these things.
70,000. He makes it.
Kasim Deeb looks at an ace-jack.
Now look at this. Now I think Deeb's going to draw the sword in the sand right here.
How come it's always these two guys going after each other? This is amazing.
Freddie's going to re-raise.
Now this is interesting. Yep. He's only got about 180,000 altogether. He's going all in. He's stacking off on Henson here.
Yep. 5 days, these guys have been going at it. He's going to do it.
Uwanda gets out of the way.
It's on Gus now. He's got the problem.
These two have played a lot of pots together and played back over the top of each other a number of times today, Vince. Look at this. He just fires it out there. He's got a queen 9 offsuit.
Kasim has the best.
He loves to play with Deeb.
Ace jack against queen 9.
It's ace jack against queen 9. Look at Deeb. What can happen now? He says,
Whoa!
Nothing's going to happen this time.
Kasim.
Deeb claps this time.
Let's celebrate.
Double up here at 8 on the river.
He's as safe as a baby in her mother's arms right here. He knows it when that flop came out. Deeb doubles up in this pot.
That's the kind of flow.
Finally gets back at Gus.
Might be an omen here, Vince.
Now, this is impressive. These poker players are like boxers. I mean, they get hit, they get down, they're on the canvas, but they keep getting back up. That's why they're great. Kasim Deeb has been hit numerous times today on the canvas. He keeps getting back up.
But you can only take so many blows. You got to deliver a few here if you're going to win the title. Okay, the price of poker has just gone up. We're now anteing $3,000. The blinds are now $15,000 and $30,000. That means there's $57,000 in the pot before the flop.
Well, one mistake can get them out, and they all know it. When the blinds get this big and there's only 4 players.
Hansen's the first to speak here. And he folds.
That's a first.
Deeb folds on the button. Now we have the battle of the blinds. And look at this. John Uwanda's picked up a monster hand. He's picked up ace-king in a small blind. He's raising the pot.
John Uwanda opens pot for 110,000.
He comes in for 110,000.
Come on.
He's going all in.
I call.
Before he gets the chips in there, Uwanda calls him.
He said all in, I call.
John Uwanda calls.
It's ace-8 offsuit versus ace-king.
King
This could be a major mistake by Hennigan.
John Hennigan has ace-8.
John Uwanda's a big favorite. Hennigan's going to have to hit an 8 here to stay alive in this tournament.
Flop comes ace-9 deuce.
The flop comes ace-9 deuce. John Hennigan will need to catch an 8 to stay alive in this tournament.
Turn card's a 5.
The turn card is a 5. He's down to 3 outs.
River card's a jack.
He
John
doesn't
Uwanda
do it.
wins the pot.
He needed to make the dead man's hand. He had to catch aces and 8s to win this pot. And instead, he's the dead one.
What a way to lose it.
John Hennigan, former professional pool player from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is our 4th place finisher. He played a lot of great poker today.
Well, he played incredible. He's mixed it up all day.
You know, he was in dead stroke there for a while. But on this last hand, his shot sort of hit the rail a little bit, you know.
But for this 4th place, he will get back a nice amount of money. He gets back $83,472, so that's not too bad. Great playing by John Hennigan.
Uwanda, who's been biding his time most of the day, bolted into the strong number 2 position by knocking Hennigan out of the tournament.
We're down to 3 exciting players, the World Poker Tour.
We're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Well, John Yuanda's feeling good now. We're stacking up these chips. You know, Vince, he's been biding his time most all day long, playing relatively conservative, and now look what he's doing.
He won that last hand with Big Slick and Ace King. He has 2 drinks next to him. I guess when you're winning a poker tournament, you're allowed 2 drinks.
Okay, Deeb folds here in the big blind. Yuanda's on the button. He's got a little Mo working his way, Vince.
Yeah, the momentum at the right time.
I raise.
He's raising.
Here he comes. 110,000. He bets on the button.
John Yuanda opens a pot for 110,000.
Now here's Gus Hansen in the small blind. Now this doesn't look like a very good hand here, but he looks like he's thinking about doing something with it. He is. Look at this, Vince.
Gus calls 110,000.
This is the gutsiest player I've ever seen. I mean, he just calls.
Look what he has, a king 7 offsuit, calling a $110,000 raise.
10-8 deuce with 2 hearts.
This flop certainly doesn't help either player. See what happens. Hansen checks. Yuanda staring him down.
John Yuanda checks.
And Yuanda checks.
10-9-8 deuce.
A 9 comes on the turn. Now that gives Gus an open-end straight. It gives Yuanda a belly buster straight, but Yuanda still has the best hand with king queen. But Gus is first to speak here. Look at this. Gus is betting at this pot.
Gus bets 120,000.
He bet 120,000. Now he has put Yuanda to a test here. Yuanda's got king queen, but a belly buster straight doesn't seem that attractive when you're staring at a $120,000 bet, does it, Vince?
Well, although if a jack does come up, you lock him out. You got to, he knows Gus isn't that strong.
Call.
John Yuanda calls 120,000.
He called 120. He didn't raise it. He just called 120,000 with king high. Here comes the river.
There you go.
And a king comes at the river. Oh, wow. Now this card helps both players. It gives both of them the top pair. The difference is Yuanda's got a queen kicker. This is pretty amazing. And now it's up to Gus because that card helped him too. So he might get punished because of it. Now he's sitting back, scratching his head, crossing his arms. He knows the card helped him. The question is, was Yuanda trapping him on the turn when the 9 came off there?
Well, that's real scary for Gus to bet.
He bet on 4th Street hoping to pick up the pot. He got called. Now when you get called and you're looking at 10-9-8, it's a little scary because there's a lot of straight possibilities, man.
Absolutely.
Here he goes. He's betting at this pot, though.
He doesn't care. This guy plays 9-7s offsuit.
He bet 140,000. Yuanda's quickly calling him. He's not even hesitating.
John Yuanda calls.
1 pair of kings.
Gus says a pair of kings.
Says a pair of kings. Yuanda's waiting to see the kicker. And he shows a better kicker. He shows the queen high kicker.
John Yuanda wins the pot with king queen and becomes our new tournament leader.
Wow, what a pop that was for Yuanda to call that bet on 4th Street with just king high. Pretty impressive bet, I thought, by Hansen on 4th Street. I love that bet. I was surprised by Yuanda's call on 4th Street. He made a great call, hit a king at the river, paid him off, won a nice pot, 764,000. Yuanda is on the move. I think Yuanda just took the lead with that last pot. Give us a chip count, Vince.
Yes, he has taken the lead. He has about approximately 1.3 million. Second place now is Gus, and he's down to about 1.1. And Kasim is just very quietly sitting there with about $400 measly thousand.
Hansen folds on the button this time. Now look at Deeb. He's got ace king. We know he's going to play this pot.
Kasim calls 15,000 more.
Look, he just limps in. He just calls in the small blind with ace king.
Yeah, it shows the sneakiness of these players.
Look, they're going eyeball to eyeball right there.
And Kasim and John are going to take a flop here.
Deeb is slow playing ace king here. Let's see if it comes back to help him.
The flop comes king 6-5 with 2 diamonds.
This is a perfect flop for Deeb. He checks in the dark. Now, Uwanda, who's flopped top pair himself here,
John bets 70,000.
comes out betting 70,000.
Now look at the acting job by Freddie Deeb.
Yep. He's going for the Oscar this hand.
He's so relaxed. Squint to the eyes there.
We know he's playing.
I'll go all in.
He goes all in.
Oh, there he goes.
He says he's going all in. He has check raised with the ace king. He slow played this ace king. He's trying to double up. He wasn't trying to just pick up the blinds. He wants to get back in the hunt. Now he's put the test of Uwanda. Now you're sitting there in Uwanda's seat, and you got 2 kings in this spot.
With a bad kicker.
Now, Deeb could have a straight draw. He could have a flush draw. He could have a 6.
I call.
Uwanda calls him. Uwanda thinks he's on a draw. He's not. He's got ace king.
We've got ace king.
Look at Uwanda. He's got king 7.
Ace king against king 7.
Deeb has played this spot masterfully. Now let's see if he can win it. He's got to dodge a 7 right here or a possible straight draw.
Turn is a 9.
I need a 7, 8.
A straight draw comes up a 9. In other words, Freddie can lose this pot if a 7 or an 8
It's a
comes up.
queen.
It doesn't. A queen comes off at the river. Deeb has doubled up.
He slow played. He trapped him.
He put the Oscar award on him. He did it all in that same hand.
He really did. He really did.
Folks, that's as good as you can play poker, the way Deeb played that hand right there. Maximum result. Any one of these 3 guys has a great chance to win this tournament. This is going to be an exciting finish. The momentum has now switched to Deeb. It was at Uwanda. Now it's at Deeb. Let's see what happens here.
Kasim raises on the button, makes it 80,000 total.
And here comes Kasim raising on the button with the 6-3 offsuit. Now, you think he's feeling his oats because he doubled up the last pot?
Gus calls the 80,000.
Oh, he sure is. He's got a little momentum. 6-3 of hearts.
Uwanda folds, and Hansen calls.
Flop comes king 4 deuce.
Deeb has flopped a gut shot straight draw. Gus has nothing.
Look at Kasim studying his rival.
80,000 bet by Gus.
Here comes Gus betting out with nothing again.
Kasim calls the 80,000.
And look at this. Deeb beats him in the pot with a gut shot straight draw.
7 of hearts on the turn.
Now look at this. They both got a flush draw.
And Deeb has an inside straight draw on top of it.
Gus has the best hand with a queen high. Be interesting to see who's going to bet this hand.
Checking.
Gus checks.
Now Deeb's sitting there. He's got a gut shot straight draw and a flush draw.
Check.
Kasim checks.
He didn't bet this hand. He checked on 4th Street. A queen comes at the river, making Gus have 2 queens and the best hand. And there's no way Deeb can win this pot unless he bluffs at it. We've got our same battle going between these 2 that we've had the whole tournament so far.
Gus bets 80,000.
Now 80,000 into this pot is a pretty unusually small bet here. So now Deeb, who has nothing, may be wondering if he raises him back, if he can take the pot away from him. He's counting his chips out like he's going to raise it, but
He's raising.
he's raising this pot with nothing.
With absolutely nothing. What a raise.
He's raising 170,000.
$250,000 on a stone bluff. Now put yourself in Hansen's shoes. Now Gus is in a position here. He's playing this hand back over in his mind. He's thinking, if the guy had 2 kings, why did he check it on 4th Street? If he just had 1 pair, wouldn't he just call me at the river? So in his mind, Deeb has flopped a monster hand or he's on a stone bluff. This is what he's got to figure out.
Now don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hey, good morning.